There we have him, Mohit Tekam, an electric fighter with a rather electric background music for him. He comes in clean with a record of 3 wins. Let's see if he's here to add a number 4 to that win streak of his.
You know, this kid is so young, just 22 years age, and he's already 3-0 in his amateur record. Like you said, he's going to be looking to add to that, but it's going to be interesting to see what changes he's made. Because, you know, you can fight amateur in so many different organizations, but this is for the first time you got the Pro MMA League, which are giving people an opportunity with fighters with very low amateur records to step in and try and grow that record. And there are a lot of organizations that will offer you a pro fight, but for an organization to offer you an amateur fight and give you an opportunity to make prize money worth rupees 25,000 for winning that fight is an added motivation for these boys.
There he is, Abhishek Menon with a record of 13 wins and 5 losses. You know, Arjun, the thing is about Abhishek that even though he may have had a couple losses, but he's got the cage experience, and that is certainly going to be an advantageous factor for him over Mohit in this bout.
I mean, look, he's got 18 fights under his belt. That has to count for something, because win, lose or draw, it's still an experience. 18 fights is a lot of fights for someone to have. But the significant difference here is the age. 22 to 31. I mean, that's where the money is. Will we see a veteran put the youngster in his place, or are we going to see the new blood of MMA in India take over?
Arjun, what do you think? Is it the fresh prince or is it the experienced one?
Well, in my experience, it's always been fighter who's been experienced. But I remember when watching the UFC, when John Jones broke on the scene, he was a phenom of an athlete, and at age 22 took out one of the greatest Pride Fighting Championships champion, Mauricio Shogun Hua, in the most devastating fashion to win the UFC belt just when he was 21 or 22 years old. So anything can happen in this sport.
Ladies and gentlemen, first we introduce the blue corner. His weight, 55.6 kilograms, fighting out of Madhya Pradesh. Give it up for Mohit
Well, Abhishek has certainly got the crowd in his favor, as we can hear some extreme cheers going for him.
That's the first thing I saw, actually. Lot of people cheering on Abhishek. He's probably the hometown favorite.
And you know, Arjun, this is the thing about the flyweight division that I love, that especially in a country like India, there is so much scope to step up, because there are some amazing flyweight fights that have happened in this year, at least for MMA.
You see a lot of fighters that have been cutting weight to get to a more comfortable weight division. And flyweight bantam feather are also some of the best weight divisions to see skill. You can see a beautiful opening right leg kick from the veteran, and we're going to see here immediately if you know, look at the pressure that he's putting on him.
He's immediately captured the center of the cage. Oh,
catches the kick, tries to look for that trip here. Nicely done there. He throws him to the mat, but up kicks couldn't do much with that toss down. That's what I'm saying. Experience plays such a huge factor here. You can see the calmness. But Mohit, you know, he's 22 years old. He's 3-0.
He's young. He can certainly put on a show and do something that might be unthinkable over here.
But what I don't like about, there's a difference where you can see in skill is where a lot of fighters set up their strikes. Nobody throws a jab. And I'm waiting to see a jab yet. Start the spinning back kick. It's, those moves are great if you don't telegraph them and you land them. But it's all these fancier strikes. Then I always set up with fundamental. Very nice. I bet now you can see Mohit immediately felt that one. And you can see him circling away from the power now. He needs to stop circling to the left.
Abhishek tries to do another leg kick, but Mohit goes with the block.
Abhishek is watching him circle to his power right. He's going to time him coming in with that right hand. Watch.
And Abhishek
Watch his eyes.
Abhishek is just looking a lot more confident and he's looking a lot more composed in this. He's going for the leg kicks.
No, see that leg, Tanay. See that leg? You can see Abhishek's foot is hurting because of it. What he's wearing is called an instep. Amateur fighters wear that so that they can protect their shins and their feet. But you can see that. You can see that marking on the inside of Mohit's leg.
Yep. He's definitely caught him there with that.
It's been a fun fight so far. It's far more contested. You can see nothing replaces experience. Mohit now is a lot more is tentative.
Well, I feel Abhishek is just looking for the right moment to stalk down his opponent, but Mohit with a counter kick over there, well done by him.
I'd like to see Abhishek instead of moving away, just as I say that, he tried checking it. Nice overhand right, and he hurt him.
Mohit has definitely hurt Mohit.
Look for a takedown there, desperation takedown by Mohit. But Abhishek again trying to drag him.
And there's the takedown.
Very nicely done. Side control for Abhishek Menon.
And you can just
I can't even hear you, Tanay, because of the crowd.
Exactly. The crowd definitely has a favorite. And it's definitely going to get to Mohit's head because I think...
It's the end of round
that's
number
the end of
one.
Round number one. Well, I would say it was a comparatively slower round, but that's exactly what we need to see. We need to see both the fighters warming.
No, man, what are you talking about? This was a great round.
It was a great round, don't get me wrong. There was a takedown, there were some good leg kicks. Mohit definitely felt the pressure a bit.
Now, see, this is what I find weird, is you can see in Abhishek's corner, his corner stepped in, giving him some water. And I feel my heart goes out here because now Mohit, his corner has wasted 25-30 seconds to come in to give him a sip of water. Forget advice. Okay, I'm sorry to it's no knock. It's not the fault of an organization that this happens. It's the fault of the corner. The corner needs to step in. It's like it's in any sport. When you call timeout, a coach runs up to you, gives you advice for your play. Anything else. And it's sad to see a fighter not get the advice he needs. Seconds out before we get ready for round number 2, but referee stepping in now. Cage door shuts.
Both the gentlemen are prepared for round number 2. I would say it was a bit of an interesting first round. I'm not sure who I would give it to. Maybe Abhishek.
No, it's very easy. Abhishek straight up. He landed the most significant strikes. He landed the takedown. He landed did damage. There's just one round remaining now. 5 minutes to go in this round. So, Tanay, just to clear up for everybody who's watching at home, amateur fights are usually 2 rounds. 2 5-minute rounds as opposed to pro, which are 3 5-minute rounds. And the 2 5-minute rounds, if they both come into a draw, then they will be contested by a third sudden death round. Nice body lock there by Abhishek. Mohit did a good job landing some strikes.
And
beautifully done.
Takedown.
Outside trip to body lock. Body lock to outside trip, sorry. Takes his opponent down very comfortably.
So tell me, Arjun, from here, what's the game plan for Abhishek? How is he supposed to go ahead?
No, Abhishek right now is winning. If he keeps doing this, he's going to win the fight. But it's also how you win. Because if you're an experienced veteran, you're going to look to put a stamp on your fight. And the way to do that is to look for a finish. And you've seen some fights. You've been watching fights, from around the world, especially amateur fights. And the best way to impress the boss is to end up with a finish.
And of course, the boss is going to return you with a check of 25,000.
I mean, that's motivation enough. But right now, Abhishek passes to side control. Slowly starting. He might be looking right in front of us here. If he's looking for an arm track, he needs to isolate an hand, but he's looking for that mount. See how the way he's putting the belt. There you go. He's got the mount now.
And he got some good shots on the face of Mohit right there.
Mohit is in a bad way. He needs to get out of this position. But what Abhishek is doing here is doing the right thing. Mohit needs to watch out with those legs, though. You cannot kick a downed opponent. Abhishek doing a good job. He needs to start posturing up. Land some good body shots there. You can use a can opener to open up that guard. So a can opener is usually when you put the pressure behind someone's neck and you yank at it, which allows the opponent to open up their guard, open up their hands to defend themselves. But from mount position, he needs to slow down, isolate an arm, and slowly go to work. He's got a lot of time.
And you know, Abhishek is keeping the aggression
big
ongoing.
shots.
He is landing some crisp shots on the face of Mohit, using it like a canvas and painting it with the blood.
Bada bing, bada boom. It's time to drop some bombs here. But it's funny, it's good job by Mohit to get off the cage, though. Last place you want to be is your head pinned against this cage.
Well, you know, Mohit is doing some things, but I really don't think it's enough because Abhishek is just keeping the aggression going.
10 seconds.
He's keeping control.
Oh,
he's
big
landing
shot.
Some amazing shots on Mohit right there.
No, he's got a chin on him for sure.
Mohit has definitely got some heart in him for taking all that punishment.
And that comes to the close of round number 2. We're going to go to the judge's decision to see if this is going to go into a third sudden death round.
Let's be honest, Arjun, I doubt that might happen. This was a dominant performance.
No,
by
I
one
mean,
of the
yeah,
gentlemen.
it's as dominant as it gets. And especially once the ground and pound started, the minute he transitioned into mount, it was just academic from that point.
It was time for Mohit to pack his bags over there.
No, I mean, Mohit, my heart goes out to him. He's a kid. He's 22 years old. He's got his entire future ahead of him. And what's great is that he's got a great chin on him. He's got good conditioning. He's standing up. He doesn't look like he's been beaten down for the last round and a half. He's looking good. He's got a bright future.
I couldn't agree more. This kid definitely has a heart on him.
Oh, here we go.
We have round number 3, ladies and gentlemen. And a referee calls for a timeout. He sends them back to their corners. Two rounds. Yeah, 2 rounds. Amateur fights 2 rounds, 5 minutes each. Yes.
A bit of confusion there for a moment, but just for people listening to at home, amateur fights are usually 2 rounds, not 3 rounds. Pro fights are 3 5-minute rounds. Amateur fights are 2 5-minute rounds. And like we said over and over, if there is in case a draw, then it goes to a third sudden death round.
And as we mentioned earlier, with the dominance established there by Abhishek, looks unlikely that there'll be a round number 3. But let's see what we have between the boss and the referee going on. And that's the end of the bout. And to make it official, we have Jared Kyle. And the red corner gets his hands raised as the two fighters show a sign of respect towards each other. Abhishek Menon with another win onto his fight streak. Beautiful performance there by the gentleman, who will now be receiving his lucky cash prize of 25,000 rupees.
I love the big check.
It's just a good element of show.
No, I love it. I remember watching it in cricket throughout my childhood.
And certainly Abhishek is the man of the match. Ooh. Looks like the adrenaline is still quite high in Abhishek.
Yeah, absolutely. He just won.
His 14th bout.
Yes, his 14th victory. His 19th fight and his 14th victory. Shakes hands with the boss, accepts that fantastic check, and he is on his way as we get ready for bout number 3. 2 great fights, 1 finish, 1 decision.
You know, Arjun, I'm just going to take a moment away from the fight and the entire structure over here, and I just got to give it up for Nimit and his suit. I love that orange color, and I love the element of show that he's also putting on over here.
Now you're just having some fun with the boss, aren't you?
Well,
I like it.
I want to come back for Pro MMA League. We got to be nice with the boss, yeah?
I like it.
And the fighter pose for Abhishek. Make some noise for the Instagram star.
No, we've been watching, we're already 2 fights in, and it's been so good. And Abhishek, ever the veteran, 19 fights in now, it's 14 wins. And I think, it's time for him to start going pro. He's good enough to step in, and I think he needs to do it.
Well, is it Abhishek Menon or
He's
Abhishek
channeling his
Jackson?
inner Valentina Shevchenko.
I love the theatrical elements in every MMA
I like
fight.
the spin. It was very Valentina